Some of you are saying it's A and B. Some of you are saying it's A and E. And yeah, I think A and yeah, I have got one response on AC as well. Okay. So most of you are saying it's A and B or A and E. So this is a common, commonly received answer to this question. Most of the people think that it's A and E, when the right answer is A and B. I'm very glad that this group has gone for the right answer, but most of the time people go for A and E. E is not the right answer. D is also not the right answer, and C. And the explanation to this question is very simple. So this question says that you are working with government on a project, and and on those who have experience working on government projects, that the stakeholders are very difficult in government projects, right? Maybe the scope of work and other things could be manageable, but stakeholders are the toughest area to manage in government projects. Okay? So same is the case over here, that stakeholders pressure is pretty much on the project manager, and project manager accordingly must come up with a very strong stakeholder engagement and planning aspects, because he is expected to deal with the complex relationship with the government professionals, right? And it's like this project also involves multiple such stakeholders, not like just a couple of them, it's like multiple, which is going to be like a bonus responsibility to him. So in this kind of situation, even without seeing the answer, I can tell you that a strong understanding of your stakeholders, which is stakeholder analysis, and stakeholder engagement strategy is needed, followed by that. First, you understand and know their needs and expectations, and you analyze them, you rightly prioritize them. In this case, in this particular use case, most of the stakeholders would be prioritized stakeholders, because this is how government projects are. And when most of the stakeholders are prioritized, or like in the fourth quadrant of power interest grid, then you can yourself understand that how demanding that project would be with respect to engagement. So rightly understanding their needs, their expectations, their the different do's and don'ts that they demand from you is needed. So different techniques, we know 6 techniques of stakeholder analysis. I just have covered that. Always keep these 6 techniques in mind, especially the power interest grid is very popular in PMI world, and Salience model is even more important and popular in the PMI world. Now let's check the answer choices. Use the prioritization method of case. This collectively talking about those 6 techniques, or any of those 6 techniques. All the 6 techniques talks about stakeholder analysis. And remember, when I was covering this stakeholder analysis earlier, I told you that stakeholder analysis is the same concept as stakeholder prioritization, stakeholder categorization, stakeholder mapping. So there are multiple names to this process only. So they are just talking about the different methods of categorizing and prioritizing stakeholders. B talks about one particular such method, which is Salience model. They could have talked about power interest grid as well. They could have talked about direction of influence as well. Because power interest is popular, people are aware of that. Salience model is also popular, but I don't know for what reason people are not aware of Salience model as much as they are aware of power interest grid. So know that Salience model is a stakeholder analysis or stakeholder prioritization tool, and it's very commonly and widely used in the rare projects as well as in like PMI standard. Now, why not CDE, especially E? there is as such no model or no method of categorization of stakeholders with the name transformation. There is no as such model or method of categorization with the name transaction. And although with the stakeholders, we want collaboration, but there is no as such method of stakeholder categorization with the name collaboration method. So this question is testing your knowledge of PMI terminology, right? Although there is no memorization related question there. And it's still, this question also doesn't test your memory. This question tests your knowledge of PMI jargons and tools and techniques, but in a very scenario oriented way. So at times people say that, are we not doing collaboration with the stakeholders? We do, but collaboration is a trait. Collaboration method as a as a name, it doesn't exist. That's it. So this is why A and B are the correct choices.